listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name's Ken Lawler. I'm the host, and you might be watching this in the LOZ app, one of the many that we have in there. You might be listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. We call it the Simulcast. And we're excited to bring you another feature with Jeff Pfitzer with Pfitzer Media. Jeff, how are you doing today, buddy?
Fantastic. The weather is still excellent for this time of year in these parts.
Yeah, I get out of there in the winter. I'm actually down in Arizona. Usually this time of year in Missouri, it's not nice, but you guys are having a run of pretty decent weather.
I mean, I don't know who was talking about the Farmer's Almanac and saying it's going to be a rough winter, but knock on wood, even if it's rough from here on out, I would not say it's a rough winter because it's been incredibly mild and awesome. And, went boating on Christmas Day. I mean, you can't beat that.
And I think you just jinxed it. So everybody, you're going to blame Jeff for that 2-foot snow that's coming after he just put that out there. But no, you're exactly right. I mean, I love talking boating, and I especially love talking boating because I don't know if you saw or not, but this week we debuted the Lambda button in the LOZ app. So now the Lake Ozark Marine Dealers Association has their own button in the LOZ app, and we feature everything going on, whether it's one of the shows that they have, one of the boat shows coming up, whether it's just news that's coming out on the boating industry. If you want to find a boat dealer, if you want to find a dock maker, if you want to find a lift guy, go into the LOZ app, you hit that button, it's all at your fingertips, one stop, one place, everything boating and related to that. And you are one of the guys that loves to get out on the lake. I see you all the time. You got out on Christmas Day, I believe, on your boat because it was so nice.
That's right.
And this year, normally the boat show is kind of the first time during the year where everybody gets excited again, right? Okay, we're going to get on the water. Everybody loves walking around looking at the new boats. It's a huge part of the lake, isn't it?
100%. Yeah. And actually, ironically, that kicks off this weekend. Not what I would consider one of the big boat shows, but I know a lot of the local people are going to be up there, dock companies, all sorts of stuff. So there's one this weekend in Kansas City. And then looking ahead, the third weekend in February is Overland Park. And then pushing into March, first weekend in March is St. Charles. And then April, we'll be back down here for the In-Water Boat Show at Dog Days. So nothing gets your juices flowing, especially typically when it's 2 degrees outside, when you can go into an arena and just dream about your next boat. It's awesome.
And I went through a different series of years where I would always go to the boat show and buy something. I wouldn't always buy a boat, but I might buy a Sea-Doo one year. I might buy a little toy one year. I mean, there's always something there to buy to get you excited about the lake. Everybody's, and here, I'm a guy, I love a deal, okay? I mean, I'm going to just tell you, I don't like paying retail for anything, so I love a deal. And when you go to the boat show, you get a deal. I mean, these guys are ready to go. They're ready to work with you on what you need, and you can really find some amazing deals on boats, can't you?
Yeah, you're right. I think it's the best time of year to buy a boat. And so it's because they are running these massive rebates, oftentimes even with the manufacturers. So, it's also quiet season for them. It's quiet for every dealer down here at the lake. So of course they're gonna do whatever they got to do to spark some activity. And you're right. I think it for many it might be very much overlooked because you wait until it's April or May. And that's when boat prices are probably at their highest. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're serious about or considering it, this is the time of year to do it and do it at one of your boat shows.
And if you bought a boat already, or maybe you have one that you're looking at buying, you got to start thinking about a lift. I mean, you can't wait till June 1st and start talking to a lift company about getting your boat in. I mean, you have to talk to them now. These guys are taking orders. They're building lifts. On Lake of the Ozarks, a lift is essential, particularly in some of the areas where you have real rough water. You got to get that boat out of the water. You got Polylift, you got all the guys out there that are building these lifts. They're great guys, local guys. And that's what I love about it too. I mean, you go to these boat shows and you go to the booths and you're not talking to the manufacturers. You're talking to the local guys who are working at these different places, whether they're a salesman, whether they're, one of the builders, one of the owners. you really get a chance to get one-on-one with one of the local owners.
Yeah, you're right. These aren't the kind of shows where these companies stick a salesperson. They usually do have the salespeople, but you're right. I can't think of one company where I haven't encountered or had a conversation with the owners of the company, and that even goes all the way up to companies like an auto construction, for example. Companies like that typically you go to the boat show, which they really technically have nothing to do with boating specifically. But yeah, it's such a great opportunity if you haven't gone to these boat shows. Like you said, even if you're not in the market for something expensive like a boat, you might be in the market for a dock box. You might be in the market for a floating waterproof stereo. That kind of stuff. It's all there. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of if you want to go see who's going to be there, go into the LOZ app, go to the Lambda button, and you'll see all the vendors that go to these shows. And it's everybody. I mean, you're talking mortgage companies, you're talking real estate agents, you're talking people who are selling. The one of the cool things I saw last year, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I've always enjoyed. I don't buy the newest boat out there. I usually buy a boat that's maybe 10 years old, and I like to renovate them. And they've got a new product out where they're putting this rubber padding down on the boats, and it makes it look brand new. And I mean, you can make a boat look unbelievable. You can take an old, and that's what I love about boats and about fiberglass. You can buff out fiberglass. You can make that boat shine. You can really bring one back if you have that kind of time and effort and you want to do it. There's a lot of good boats out there that are, a couple years old that are still got a lot of years left in them. So I love all those booths and going to talk to people and seeing all the different trades, and they're all local people, right? They're all local companies, people from the lake that are just trying to make a living, and they start and kind of kick off their season at the boat show.
You're right. Bunch of sea deck companies, bunch of boat cover companies, all of the things. Now you mentioned fiberglass, but you are not a fiberglass boat owner, correct?
Well, I've been a fiberglass boat owner in the past, several with fiberglass, but I am now a tri-tune owner. I have decided that I really enjoy driving my Barca Lounger down the lake at about 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's really kind of where I'm at in life.
Yeah.
And that'll change. I'll go to something else later, but right now I'm in that. I love to get it in my tri-tune. I got my sun cover on it, and I just kind of cruise down the lake. And of course I got Blake with me, my son. He loves to go boat riding. You guys see the videos every summer of me and him out there on the water, and we just like to cruise, man.
What's your boat brand?
I have a Harris float boat. So I have a Harris from Marine Max, and I love it. It's my second one. Talked to Dale over there. I just had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and it's a great place to go. I know you've got, what boat do you have?
Yeah, which I just set that ball on a tee for myself because there's some big announcement just happening. We're helping them with this, that Playcraft just got purchased. So the original owner, Jim Doris, had passed away a couple of years ago. His wife took it over from kind of the family, and she just couldn't do it anymore. And she still runs in the shootout, and still continues to, gets Carolyn Doris and a new owner by the name of Chris and Leslie Nelson, based out of Farmington, Missouri, just purchased it as of this past week. And they came to me knowing I was a Playcraft owner, and said, and a media guy, they said, we want to bring it back to prominence. And we couldn't think of a better person to help us do that. And so, yeah, I'm excited for Playcraft because, I'm a Playcraft guy. It's the only boat I've ever
And that's a brand that's been around for years. I mean,
look,
Playcraft's been around forever. So, I mean, what a great way to resurgence and kind of get him back out there.
It's like the sporty tri-tune, right? Everybody's kind of gone more luxury. Like you said, Harris and Barletta, and there's all these different brands. They're all great. And what I love about Playcraft is how it stands out. And they were the first to have the wakeboard tower on a tri-tune, which just made it look really cool. That's why I bought one. Mm-hmm. They've got the built-in stairs. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. And I'll tell you why it's exciting, not just because it's kind of going to come back to life, but it's one of the very few boat manufacturers that are basically local to the lake. And it's not owned by a big organization, and they're based out of Richland, Missouri, which is about 30 minutes out of Camdenton. And so I think it's exciting. It's great to keep stuff local, and that's exactly what Chris is going to do. They're going to keep it local. They're not moving anything. And yeah, so if you're a boat guy or gal, and specifically tri-tunes, you're going to start seeing a heck of a lot more of Playcraft.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we, like I said, we celebrate local, right? You and I both. That's what we do. We promote Lake Ozark local businesses,
Amen.
local charities, local organizations, and just people that are trying to do really good stuff at Lake of the Ozarks. And there's a ton of that going on. And obviously the boating season and the boat show are a great place to kick that off. And we're excited about being there. We're actually going to be doing some live streams from the shows this year. And like I said, it's a prevalent and a prominent space in the LOZ app now. And so we welcome them. And it's cool too. You do a lot with them. I know you do a lot of social media with Lambda. And so it's a great marriage of getting together to promote Lake and promote local boating.
So what you're saying is you and I will actually be able to reach across the table and touch each other when we do the show from Overland Park.
That's true. We will be at the show. We will have a space. We will be doing some live streams. We'll have some guests on. Jeff will be joining me on that. We'll be doing some interviews, and come by and say hi to us because, we like to meet people, right? We want to see who's listening and who's watching and participating in the show. So the first chance is going to be there at Overland Park in Kansas City. And it's not too far away. Now that Jeff jinxed everything, and there's going to be a couple huge 2-foot snows between now and then. But other than that, I think we're gonna have a good time in Kansas City. I'm excited about it, man. I love having you on the show. I love that we kind of cross over on so many different things, and we're doing more together. It's cool, and I think we're bringing a lot of good info to the Lake Ozark community. Jeff Pfitzer, Pfitzer Media on the LOZ App Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us today, buddy. And everybody else out there, we will see you next week on the show. And just always tune in to KRMS from 10 to 11 on Saturday mornings, or anytime you want, day or night, go into the LOZ app and you can watch it right there. And we appreciate having you on, Jeff. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week on the LOZ App Podcast Network.